This is KAGS HD News at 10.
And we start tonight with breaking news. A College Station high school teacher is in jail tonight accused of making unwanted sexual contact with one of his students. 42-year-old Gregory Stanley was arrested at his home in College Station this evening. The 17-year-old victim told police the sexual contact happened at Stanley's home on the 800 block of San Saba. Investigators were able to retrieve evidence confirming the victim's statements. Stanley's charged with improper relationship with educator and student. It's a second-degree felony punishable up to 20 years in prison. Stanley is being held on $35,000 bond. This case, though, is still under investigation. Well, another developing story tonight. Investigators with the Brazos County Sheriff's Office are looking for the person or people who broke into a truck at the Brazos County Tax Office. The suspect was seen leaving the scene in this 2007 blue Kia van. The incident happened just before 1 o'clock today. Deputies say the owner of a Ford pickup truck parked his truck in the parking lot of the tax office to handle some business inside. When he returned, the man's passenger window was shattered and the money inside his truck was gone. The victim told deputies he had a feeling he was being followed. Now, deputies believe this recent jugging incident may be connected to two bank jugging incidents out of Walker County. This is a photo Huntsville police released of suspects who may be connected to their investigation. Here's what investigators believe may link these two incidents. The vehicle you see right there involves that blue Kia van with Texas plates. Deputies believe that vehicle may have been occupied by one or more black suspects. Both the Brazos County Sheriff's Office and Huntsville Police are investigating these separate incidents. Deputies are asking anyone who was at the tax office between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. today and may have noticed anything unusual to call the Brazos County Sheriff's Office at the number on your screen. You can also call Brazos County Crime Stoppers at 979-775-TIPS. Now, you may be wondering what exactly is jugging. It's an act that involves criminals lurking around, usually in bank parking lots, and watching as customers leave. The perpetrator then follows the person to their next stop, waits for the person to leave their car before breaking into the car. Now, here are some things you should be aware of, especially when visiting a financial institution. Police say be mindful of occupied vehicles backed into parking spaces with a clear view of the bank, ATM, or drive-through line. You should also be on the lookout for vehicles arriving at a bank with no occupants entering the bank. Another red flag for possible jugging is if you see vehicles changing parking spaces. Police say to always put your money away before leaving the bank and never try to hide a bank bag or envelope in your vehicle, even if you're at home. Well, time now for a check of the weather. First, we'll take a look outside of our weather cam this evening overlooking Villa Maria. Not much happening out there. Clear skies, another warm day. We'll check in with Wes Howe with your first look at weather.
Well, good evening, folks. We had a little bit of sea breeze moisture to talk about as well. That was earlier this afternoon. You can see kind of working across the Gulf Coast north of Houston. Did make it east of Interstate 45 and, well, mainly east of College Station as well here down into the Brazos Valley. But we're looking at a quiet but warm pattern ahead for us the next several days. The humidity, of course, as you felt today, is back. Muggy conditions in the forecast for us tomorrow morning. We'll be down near 77 degrees, near triple-digit heat tomorrow afternoon. Heat index values, yeah, that's the number that matters. That'll feel like 105, and we'll see a few clouds in the forecast tomorrow night. We'll have complete details on the 7-day forecast. That's coming up here in a few more minutes.
Say $25,000 worth of football equipment was stolen, allegedly at the hands of the coach. KAGS HD News reporter Ian Smith spent the day with the Brenham Youth Football League, and he shows us how the game will go on until justice is served.
As the summer sun beats down, these kids practice football, except today they will practice without any football gear.
This was shocking. I was shocked. This is something you don't see every day. This is a guy we have trusted, and this is somebody I've known.
David Maridi's son is just one of 136 kids that is without football gear.
This means everything. My son is sports. That's part of his life.
Unfortunately, one of our own has actually stolen our equipment from our organization.
A total of 180 helmets and 180 pads. The lead thought they had been sent to be refurbished back in June.
We did think that they had been sent off by this particular individual, only to learn last week that indeed none of them had arrived at their destination in Laredo.
The gear is nowhere to be found, and the same goes for the coach the league says is responsible.
We've, attempted to talk to him, but he has apparently left the vicinity.
Even though these kids have lost their pads and they've lost their helmets, the one thing they haven't lost is the ability to come out here and practice every day, even without their gear. And it's that type of positive attitude their parents hope they never lose.
Football is football. If you get knocked down, you got to get back up, ready to continue on and ready to continue fight.
This is what my son does. He loves it. He can't be sitting at home doing nothing. He's over there putting 100% because in his mind he knows he'll play football.
Police say no charges have been filed yet, but it is early in the investigation. Until then, parents hope justice will be served as the game goes on.
At the end of the day, you just can't do this to children.
In Brenham, Ian Smith, KAGS HD News.
Now, Brenham police say if you have any information about the missing equipment, to call them at 979-337-7337.
She shouldn't have been in that jail. She shouldn't have been in custody. There was no rightful reason that she was detained, arrested, and incarcerated.
The attorney for Sandra Bland's family says they're not getting the answers they need, and that's why they're suing several Waller County officials, including the officer who arrested her. The 28-year-old Illinois woman was arrested after a traffic stop. 3 days later, she was found dead in her jail cell. Her death ruled suicide by hanging. The trooper who arrested Bland is still on leave for violating the department's courtesy and professionalism policy. Well, there's new undercover video involving Planned Parenthood, this time showing a Gulf Coast worker out of the Houston area having conversations with two people posing as buyers for fetal tissue. Some of the video showing researchers handling fetal tissue is too sensitive for TV. Planned Parenthood's president continues to deny any wrongdoing in the videos. The claims, however, are being taken seriously. The governor has already begun an investigation into the organization's practices. People visiting Fort Hood will now have to go through a detailed process to check for criminal backgrounds. Emergency personnel are hoping the new security measure will help curb incidents on the military base. Visitors will now have to go to the visitor center, have their name go through a state and national background check, and get a pass before being let on base. The change does not apply to soldiers and other Department of Defense card holders. The new policy will fully take effect on September 1st. While former Governor Rick Perry will not appear in the first Republican presidential debate on Thursday, Fox News announced today the candidates who made the cut, including real estate mogul Donald Trump, Texas Senator Ted Cruz, Florida Governor Jeb Bush, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, Ohio Governor John Cash, Florida Senator Marco Rubio will also be there, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, retired neurosurgeon Ben Carson, and former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee all made the top 10. They were determined based on an average of the 5 most recent national polls. The debate is this Thursday on Fox at 8 p.m. our time. Well, on A&M News, from finding the owners of lost Aggie rings to making a young boy's dream come true, Aggies know how to stay connected. Last year, collegeatlas.org ranked Texas A&M as the #1 most engaged college community on social media. Aggie Network says the association's pages reach more than 100,000 people, making extraordinary connections a reality.
It's really very touching. I work with our Facebook page most of the time, and I just love watching what Aggies will connect with and start sharing with each other.
This morning, Aggie Network asked Facebook to help them identify a young boy in a photo. Within an hour, the post was shared more than 400 times. Aggie Network has found the boy. It just goes to show you how powerful social media can be in any circumstance. Well, still ahead on KAGS HD News, do you breastfeed or not? That's a question for you ladies. And a new study shows why women are a bit colder in the workplace. We'll tell you what that's all about after your full forecast.